Today, we're going to launch ChatGPT Atlas, our new web browser.
Launching Claude Code.
We're going to announce two models
Gemini
today.
2.0 enables new
Models that
kinds
deliver frontier intelligence.
Confusing, right? With so many models, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Gemini, whether it's Claude, whether it's Perplexity, and all of their models are getting released left, right, and center these days. Google recently came up with Gemini 3. OpenAI came up with ChatGPT 5. And there's so much chatter about AI all around. It's only natural to feel overwhelmed. If you are also facing a similar kind of situation, don't worry. I've recently talked to a lot of people, and these are the 5 major problems that they're currently facing. The first one, where to actually start learning about the basic concepts of AI, ML, LLMs, and answer questions like what's the difference between a supervised and an unsupervised model. Second point, once you are done with all of these basic concepts, the next thing is what would the roadmap look like to go from a beginner to a pro in AI. Third point, how to use LLMs to genuinely improve productivity at work. Fourth point, which LLMs to use when and for which particular task. And the final point is how to start your own project that could convert into a business or a side income. And all of these pain points are exactly what this channel is all about. I faced all of these challenges myself, which is why I can help you transform your journey into someone who not only knows about AI but grows with it. Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to my YouTube channel, AI with Harshit. To give you a brief intro, I am an alumnus of ISB and BITS Pilani. Currently, I work as a product manager at a SaaS company building enterprise solutions which are powered by AI. All right, let's talk AI, baby. Starting with the basics of AI. Now, many of us are already very familiar with how AI is integrated into our daily lives. Spotify recommends new songs we love, Google Maps calculates the fastest route for a commute, and Alexa sets alarms for us. Now, we have become accustomed to all of this. But why is there so much of hype cycle currently? What's different now? The answer lies in the most recent iteration of AI, which is called generative AI, Gen AI. Unlike previous versions that just analyzed data, these models can create things that look, sound, and feel eerily human. This shift has brought a wave of terminologies that get thrown around very randomly. Let's clear that air first. I'm going to cover these topics: basic questions and advanced modern buzzwords, which basically cover these pointers. Basic questions are what is AI, what is machine learning, what are LLMs. Later, we'll cover advanced topics like RAG, Evals, workflows, and AGI. Right. But let's do things a bit differently this time. Let's take an example. Since we have all either been an intern or hired one, I will explain these terms using a single cohesive analogy. The new intern named AI. He's smart and enthusiastic, but slightly inexperienced, just like all interns are. Now, the first concept, what is AI? Think of AI as the broad concept of simply hiring the intern. It is an overarching discipline of computer science dedicated to creating systems capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. Now, if you want to speak a bit more technical, AI is the big umbrella. It encompasses everything from symbolic AI, which follows rigid, hard coded logic like a calculator, to modern connectionist AI, which mimics the human brain. Whether the machine uses simple if then rules or complex neural networks, it all simulates human cognitive functions. It belongs in the AI bucket. That is all about AI. Let's move on to the next concept, which is what is ML. Now, how do we train this particular intern? In the old days, we wrote code, a strict rule book. If X happens, do Y. But that takes forever. This brings us to machine learning. ML is a subset of AI. Instead of writing a rule book, we dump, let's say, 10,000 examples on the intern's desk. So 10,000 spam emails and say, figure out the pattern. Now,
He analyzes and realizes that, oh, if it mentions a Nigerian prince story, or if someone has won $10,000 somewhere, he notices a pattern. He learned the rules himself. In technical terms, ML shifts ML shifts the from it shifts from explicit programming to statistical learning. The system uses algorithms to parse data and learn from it, while at the same time making decisions. It optimizes internal parameters called weights to minimize error. So, while AI is the goal, which is a smart behavior, machine learning is the method used to achieve it without being explicitly programmed for every scenario. That is all about ML. Right. Let's move on to the third topic then, which is LLM. Upon interaction with the intern, you find out that this intern is super well read. He hasn't just looked at emails, he has read the entire internet, every book, every Wikipedia page, every Reddit thread. Because he has read so much, he's incredible at predicting what comes next. So if you say once upon a, he shouts time out of habit. He's a master of language. These are LLMs. Here is how they connect. LLMs are a specialized machine learning models. They are built on the transformer architecture. By processing massive data sets, they learn the statistical probability of which word or token follows the next. They use self attention mechanism to understand context and relationship between words, even if they are far apart in the sentence. Now, there is definitely a problem with all of this. And here's the catch, which is hallucination. The intern only knows what he's read publicly. He doesn't understand or know any private documents, right? And sometimes if he doesn't know the answer, he makes it up just to please you. So we call that hallucination. For example, when you ask what is our company's refund policy, he panics. He's never seen your internal documents, right? So he might lie and say it's 100 days just to sound helpful. And that is what hallucination is. Let's move on to the advanced concepts now. First of which is RAG. RAG is retrieval augmented generation, right? So this is like giving the intern an open book test. Instead of forcing him to memorize everything, you give him access to the filing cabinet. Now, when you ask about refunds, he runs to the cabinet, which is the retrieval part, grabs the specific policy PDF, reads it, and then answers your question, which is the generation part. He isn't guessing anymore, he's citing his resources. Technically, this involves converting your private data into vectors, which are certain sort of numbers, so the AI can search for most relevant context and inject that into the answers before responding. That is all about RAG. Let's move on to the next concept, which are evals. Now, can we really trust the intern when he is answering? So if you ask him to write 10,000 emails to the clients, right, you can't read all of them and test them, right? So if what if he insults the client? This is where evals or evaluations come in. Think of this as a performance review or a quality control. So before he sends those emails, we run them through kind of a senior manager, which is often just a grading script or another AI model. It checks, is the tone polite? Is the logic sound? Did he hallucinate or not? If the score is above 90, then it is fine. Otherwise, the model has to redo it. So evals let you sleep at night. So those are evaluations. Let's move on to the next concept, which is workflows and agents. Now, up until now, you have just been chatting with the intern, but you want him to do the actual work. A workflow is when you stop micromanaging, you give him a checklist. When an invoice arrives, open it, read the amount, log it in the Excel, and then email the finance team. You chain these actions together. Now, he isn't just a chatbot, he's an agent capable of executing code and using tools to act on your behalf. And that is what a workflow or an agent is. It's the real deal. Next, the final concept, which is the AGI, right? So AI is a fantastic intern. He needs good instructions, which is prompting, access to files, which is RAG, and supervisions, Evals. But people talk about AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. That's the future, where the intern becomes the CEO, a system that can run the whole company without even asking. We aren't there yet. And that is about AGI. And that brings us to the end of the video, where we have covered all the 7 concepts of AI. If you can manage mastering your intern, you are already ahead of 99% of the world. And that is what the value of this channel would be. Hit that subscribe button and let us go on a journey with AI. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.